Well, thank you. Very sorry about that. I just stopped. I have no idea what happened. All I can say is maybe I don't know. Hi, Steiner. I don't know if my finger touched the button. I didn't think touched the button, but somehow it just cut out completely. And sometimes I get to go back and I can, reinstitute it. And I'm very sorry about that. Don't know. I just have to assume it was my mistake. So, sorry. I apologize. And Jonathan Walker, hi. No, usually my Wi-Fi, if it drops, it goes into this hourglass mode. But this time it just cut out. I mean, totally cut out. So I'm not sure. Stephen Marvin, thank you very much. Thank you. And and just to continue the thought, what we were looking at is we were looking at the hatching tanks for the Sudamugal. Just to show you what other fish I have planned for that. And this is some of the changes I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm going to show you this tank here with these beautiful fish. These are threadfin rainbows, and I've bred these before, and I've got this group, and I've been conditioning them up for some time. And they also have babies very similar to the blue-eyed rainbows. So the mops will be placed. This is an example of a mop. I'll probably put that in there tonight. I'll put them in one of those 2.5 gallons. This is two females, and it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where's the other female? There's 6 males and 2 females. Well, in the future, I'll have some black rams glitch aquatics. I definitely will be considering, and I probably will be shipping some. There is something I'm trying out. What happened to the other female? She's hiding out, maybe? I don't see the other female. She was. I thought I saw her earlier today. Huh. I only see one female. Oh, maybe I only have one female. That would be tough. Oh no, there's the other female. Okay. So, only one of them is very. You see the one in it right here, right there. She's bulging. The other ones might be young males, but I thought they were females. Well, at any rate, that'll give the males plenty of competition, and they'll be probably. And I do see them playing all the time. Not when camera is sticking up here because they don't like the camera. So I think that the mops are going to have to start being rotated regularly, and then what I'll do is I'll put them in those 2.5 gallons. Before I leave here, just to show you, here's some of the black rams I've raised. These I'm not going to sell these for now. I'm just going to hold them to determine which breeders I want, and we're going to start breeding these. And once I start breeding these, I'm sure I'll have some extras. And when I have extras, then I'll start selling them off. And so, yeah, there's plenty. Okay, so I will answer you, Chris, in just a minute, but I want to go back to where I was before I somehow touched the wrong button. So what we were doing is, for those Pseudomugil eyes and also the rainbows, I'll just put them in here. I'll throw the mop in, and then I just wait for the babies to appear at the top. And that's what I did over here. These are exactly what I did. You can see the mops. I'm going to pull these mops out because new babies have stopped hatching a long while back, and those mops are just in there. Actually, I think I saw some. I do have a. The glare is so bad. I do have a shrimp or two that got kind of mixed in and over there, and there may even be a lucipinus or something. Sometimes little babies appear out of everywhere. They're in every tank. They're like, some people have issues with duckweed. I have more of an issue with lucipinus. Here's the latest batch of lucipinus. These containers here are perfect for them. They just work perfect. So I'll keep them in here for a little while longer, and they will do well. And I just siphon out. And some of the things about Lucipinnis, just so you know, they don't like water changes. That is not water that's been seasoned, or shall we say, completely eradicated of any chemicals. They're very susceptible to chemicals. Even treatments, we found that we tried treating a tank for worms using levamisole, and it wiped out half the Lucipinnis. And not that they had worms, but they just reacted harshly to the chemicals. So they're a sensitive fish when it comes to chlorine and the like. But if the water is okay and clear, and I don't have any issues. If the water is, they don't have any issues when it. How come I can't focus? Okay. Yeah, these are just a few days old. They're so cute. But they're on baby brine shrimp. I don't think I fed them, did I? Okay, we were feeding baby brine shrimp a minute ago in the first part before the outage. So I'm just going to grab some for them. I don't want to put much because I don't want to contaminate the containers since they're so small. And so what I'm going to do is, let me lift this up, lift up the lid, stick it in there. And you can see I'm not putting a lot in there, but they will go crazy over just the few that I put in there. And their bellies, you can see, are pink. So they're doing very well. They just go after any of the live shrimp that's put in there, and they will grow. They do so well in this, and now they'll stay in here. And I'm actually going to add one of those little tiny filters, little sponge filter, tiny ones. I have some small ones. Let me show you what those look like in the box. Here's this knocker top, I guess, because I recognize this. Yeah, it's one of these. I put one of those in, and it fits inside. And by the way, I found an interesting find at the dollar store the other day. Picked up a few more of these, but the most interesting thing was this. And this is, again, the same thing. It's the bottom platter or pot holder. But I found that these are slightly smaller, and they were only $1.25 at Dollarama. And I got these 3 at a time, 3 for $1.25. But notice there's plenty of room. They go right in. So when the I can hatch out a lot of fish that way using those instead of the other ones, because the other ones seem to have issues. They kind of didn't quite fit in here, and so there was like sometimes they get stuck, or I couldn't fit them at all together. The ones I got at Lowe's. And speaking of Lowe's, another surprise tonight. Been wanting to show you this for a long time. I'm so glad I said Lowe's because that's what it came up. This is like a unboxing, okay? I got these slates. I wanted to show them to you. Look, these are the neatest slates I've ever seen. Why? Because they just look like wood. They're made to look like old wood. So these are tiles. I said slates, but you know, they're tiles. And even this one, there's 10 of them. Got them very reasonably. And there's the Lowe's number if you want to look it up. 102-4139. And that's what it looks like. Let's take a look at these. I haven't had a chance to open it up yet because I've just been waiting for this big boxing. So you're getting a super bonus tonight. We're going to open that up. Let me see if I can hold the camera. There we go. Open that. Okay, I'm all doing this with one hand. Oh, is there two? This one's tied too? Oh, yeah. Huh. Got these for the Plecos to make some interesting pleco shells. And there they go. Huh. There we go. So I'm anxious to see what these will look like in water. They look like pieces of wood. They're designed that way. So, and this one too. See what different patterns look like. Huh. They're light colored. They look like wood. And of course, they're just tiles. So I'm going to use these in my tanks, and especially for the fish like the ones seen here. These are my L134 leopard frog plecos, and you can see I'm using some pieces of slate that I was able to pick up here and there. And you put on top of a row of caves, and then another row of caves, and then another one. They make great little hiding spots, and the fish love them. No breeding activity from these L134s yet. Not a surprise. They're very young. So I wasn't expecting this season, this fall, to have any L134 babies. I don't even know how many males and females I have, but I'm hoping it's a mixture of fish I raised and fish that I believe Malik at Aqua Malik also was able to get. Don't know if which ones they were, but I got some from him. Sort of a mixture of both. So, anyways, I have a few female rams in here. These female rams are just being conditioned. When they're ready and willing to go, I will put them up with the males up at the top. And so here at the top tank, let's take a look. Now, here, for example, I just put this female in with this male. He was with one of those females we just saw, but I decided to swap out the female because she was more ready to go. Now, did she lay? I don't even know if she laid. I've been busy the last few days. It looks like she... I'm going to have to check in the back, see if there's eggs back there. And this pair too. So there's two pair. I need a clean glass. It's got a smudge on it. Now, in this case, the black rams are a little different. You have to be super careful. I don't know if you understand that what happened was I put a female in with him, and there she is, and she got beat up so bad because I wasn't watching her close enough initially that I didn't think she was going to make it. I really didn't. So, but I treated her with one of my favorite treatments, and that is the tea tree oil treatment that you have when you use Melaleuca, or this one's called Melafix. And it's really works good for the skin, for injuries, and so forth. Her pectoral fins were pretty munched up, but I see they've come back together now, and she's also quite full and ready to go. So any day I'm going to get a moment to put the male. In fact, since it's a holiday weekend for us here in Canada, I'm going to probably, maybe I should put him over there in the morning. I'm just going to pick him up and put him in with her. I'll put in maybe some of the floating plants to give him some more hiding because it's too bare in here. She'll need a place to hide. So then I'll watch him closely to make sure he doesn't go all out on her. So, oh, what's that? I see something floating around, like a worm or something. I saw it in the camera. Did you see that? It's like floating by. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's one of those little... I get those once in a while. I don't know. The fish don't seem to eat it, I guess, like detritus worms. So, that's what's going on here in the breeding. So these are the ones that I was using. I'm going to try these new ones because they're small, they're just a hair smaller, and they fit into the little glass vases that I have. So I have a bunch of these too. So I can put this in a breeder box, of course, if they do lay in there. Over here, there's a pair of rams, black rams that these are the parents of the babies we just looked at. This pair is a lot more docile, and I noticed that docile in the sense that he hasn't gone after her. He's not overly aggressive, and that's a good sign. So I'm able to leave her in there. If I see her hiding up in the hornwort, then I'll know that there's an issue, and I'll save her. I don't know that. I don't think we've gone down on eggs again. We've done this before. Let me just double check. I don't know how to tell. You can't look down from the top. It's just too much. But the best way for me is actually to reach back there and pull out the thing, because I can't see very well. Over here, it doesn't look like there's anything on that corner. But this corner, they're kind of like over there, aren't they? I wonder. Let me just see. You hang on there. What is that? You like Melifix? It's a good stuff, but I don't put it in the main tank. I take the fish out and put it in a small container. It works, then treats for fungus. Yeah, I guess it's always best to treat in a smaller tank. I'm going to reach now in the back. Let's see if he attacks my hand. Nobody's going to attack my hand. There must not be any babies over there. I don't see any eggs. No. You see anything? Nope, nothing. Nope, nothing. You know, sometimes you get something and sometimes you don't. But usually I know in advance because I see the female. She's got her breeding tube out. So for me, when I see the breeding tube, I know she's ready. Then I can start really looking. This tank here is cleaned and ready to go. I think I'm going to bring in another. Major, how are you? Welcome. Glad you could join us tonight. I'm going to bring over a pair of black rams from the grow house, the fish house, and then put one of those younger pairs in here. One that I think is ready to start doing their thing, but they're still small compared to the normal size that I breed from over here. So we'll see. And taking a look at her, you can see she's got like a little bit of a breeding tube sticking out. Yeah, she might be ready. She might be ready very soon. I don't think she's quite ready. I can keep conditioning them. I feed them with Daphne when I have it, or I'll feed them, start conditioning them on, what's that, those worms that I use, what is the worms I use? It's the worms that, little white ones. Not the white worms, but the smaller version. Can't think of the name. I'm having a brain freeze at the moment. So I'm wearing tonight. It's hot in here, 81. I always put on a shirt, but I'm normally in a tank top because of the heat. This is angelfish. I got this shirt at a Eagle outlet. And American Eagle outlet, and I couldn't believe it. I saw these angelfish on this shirt, and I said, wow, I gotta have it. So once in a while you find something like that, maybe not meant for fish people, but somehow perfect for fish people. So that's what happened. I got that a few months back, and the Discus are really going great. I just took away, let's see, I'll show you the latest group of fish I took away from the parents. I'm getting these, trying to get these onto, they're eating now pellets. No more baby brine shrimp at this age. They're about 4 weeks old, probably. 4 weeks. Well, right here, there it is. 9/5. So you're looking at September 5th. It's 4 weeks. So by 3 weeks, I start the pellets only, and use the Dr. Baslier to do it. And then I have 3 tanks empty. 1, 2, 3. Red. These are my breeding tanks. So guess what? The good news tonight is that I'm going to spend some time actually getting back into my breeding setups and actually breeding some fish. And seems like I've been so busy working on the tanks and the grow out space over at the fish house that, and there's still a lot of work to do. I've got to reseal I don't know how many tanks, and there's plenty to do over there. But I got to stop and pause and get some fish on the go. And I've got several things to do. Now, number one, yes, Chris, you keep asking me about the green tigers, and yes, I'm going to be putting them together. So, green tigers, you know, they're a fantastic group, and I'm just going to show you really quick. I like to have like 100 of them. I only have now about a dozen or so, but you can see they go crazy. Just this tank is going to be shut down soon because we're going to take this this 90-gallon out and take it over to the fish house. But these tiger barbs are like little piranha. Throw anything in there, it just like starts boiling. Yeah, it's an old barb tank. I got a couple other things too. There's a checkered barb, is it? No, is that a banded barb? African banded or Angolan barb. So I've got several barbs, different kinds in here, but the main thing is the tigers, and I'll sell these as a group, get rid of them all as soon as I get them to breed. And I'll get, don't know exactly what I'm going to breed first. I do need some checkered barbs, because somehow, some way I ended up with only a pair of checkered barbs. So that's all I have left, so I want to put the pair together. They've been separated for a while, so in one of these tanks I need to put, so I use the one tank here, the first 5 gallon here, number one. This one I use for raising the discus, and when they get to be about probably a little bit older, another week or two, and I'll be taking them over to the fish house for growing out. Put them maybe in a 20 gallon. Then number 2 and 3. So I have 3 tanks here. So what I could do, and I want to set them all up at the same time. So I'm going to set them up with the grill on the bottom, and then I'm going to put all the fish together, the pairs, and try to get them all going at the same time so that the fish will be the same age. So I have a choice. I have 3 tanks. What do you suggest I do? Put one of them with a pair of checkered so I can get the checkered, put one of them with some hexazonas, and maybe another one with the tiger barbs, or what? I got an idea, and I think this is the best plan to go. I have 3 tanks. I think I'm going to put in 3 pairs of green tigers. I have 3 pairs. So the females are over here and the males are over there in different tanks. So they're all kind of separated. So when I put them together, they'll be kind of like, hey, I haven't seen you before, you know, let's make babies. So I'll do that with all 3 tanks. Boom, boom, boom. Then I will wait for about 3 days, and then I will look to see which pairs were successful and which pairs were not. If I didn't have a pair that was successful, maybe they were incompatible or whatever, then I have a tank free. If there's nothing much in it, I'll just throw in the checker bar pair in that tank, and then just run them. So that will give me, so I can start using these 4 tanks to the maximum. But as you know, the tiger barbs, if I can breed them in a sufficient quantity, if I get a lot of them in each of the 3 tanks, that's fine. You know, I don't mind 150 fish because they're easy to grow, and in large numbers they do well. They do better. That's one barb that, you know, you want to have a lot of them in there. So that's what happened with those. So I have another possibility. I do want to put the hexazonas together. I would like to see some of those breeding. I also have in the future months, these upcoming months, I want to breed some of these glow light danios, not glowfish, glow light danios. And there's some really interesting footage. I think I'm going to just make a video. What happens after a water change? The tank just transforms. And suddenly, all the little fish go grilling about into schools, and they go zipping about when there's some sort of changes going on in this tank. And it's fun to watch. I love it. Especially when you have, like I do, like 15 of them. They school together and they're zipping around the jungle val, and it's quite the sight to see. Now, before we get too far away from that tank, just wanted to mention the new fish in the fish room. These came from a big shout out to Jason over at Jason's Plecos. These are 2 new additions, and what I was able to get is a smaller one you see on the glass, and the biggest one over in the corner. So I've added to my stock of 3 because I wanted to see if I could breed some of these one day. See on the back, on the glass wall? These are Rhinolacoria whiptails. And these guys are, now I've got 5. I think that's enough to make sure I got females and males. And they are quite amazing when they swish their tails around. They're very elongated tails. They're kind of neat. Very unique fish. And this tank has it's a community tank, but I have plants in here, and believe it or not, there's a whole slew of a whole colony of Corydores. There's one in the back over there. Quick, take a peek, because you don't see them. There, oh, he's gone. Those Corydores are in here. There's about a dozen, but I never see them. I think they hide underneath here. I don't know if it can be seen in the cave. Yeah, nope. So that's it for the 30 gallon. And I just wanted to mention, since we're talking about the whiptails, let's take a look at some of the babies that I've been breeding for the red lizards. The red lizards, you see in this 10 gallon, I threw a bunch of young ones. There they are on the rock. Look at the rock. They're so camouflaged. Excuse me. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I see 7 at least. Maybe there's even more over here, huh? So this tank is full of Rhinolacoria. These are L number 010A. Red lizards. They hang out on the tubes, on the plants, everywhere. That's just one tank of them. I have another tank of them here. I've thrown in a bunch of little ones. Look on the back filter, you see them. On the back wall, you see them. And, oh, look at the red rock. There's a couple hanging off there. So, I estimate in the fish room there's probably a good 80 of them, and that's being conservative. One thing about these new dishes, I noticed they turn white on the inside. I don't know why they're turning white. Maybe that's why they're at the dollar store. I doubt if it has any effect. But we'll see if that pair goes down on eggs in the corner. We'll try it out. I love these little guys, the way they always mouthing, and I feed them baby brine shrimp mostly, and also little Dr. Basilier, and they seem to go well. Just dig at the algae and other items I put in there. So the main tank with the red lizards actually has the dad has finally come out. I've stopped putting females in there because there's just too many. I've got so many I don't know what to do with. Here's different batches, obviously. Looks like Dad went back into his cave. There's no female in there though for now. So these are the red lizards, L010A, and they do very well on brine shrimp. This tank is full of them. They hang off everywhere. There's some little ones on the glass. Actually, they love the filter. They're always hanging around the filter. But they're everywhere. Oop, here's one. They also hang off on the leaves of this plastic plant when they're young. Oh, there's the lights. The lights just went off. Alexa, fish room on. There we go. I didn't have to stand up. Oh, and here's some more over here. This is where I was when I lost everybody. Maybe it is a Wi-Fi connection. And then there's the littlest one, probably from the last batch, right there. You can see them in the corner. They're growing too. And when they first hatch, they go up toward the top. They just kind of migrate to the top. They're a fascinating pleco. I like the whiptails, as you can see. Oh, there you go. Look at the plastic plant now. I see 3 of them. Maybe more. Huh. Everywhere. So those are now big enough to sell. I'm going to start selling them. I'll put an ad very soon. I threw some... sorry about that. We had a dip. Threw a few up here just to spread them all out throughout the room so that when I went on vacation, if something should happen, I wouldn't lose them all. I'm glad I did, but I didn't lose any. I have yet to see one of those that have died. That's just the way it is. So, I hope everybody's had a chance to get caught up, and I'm glad you were able to join me tonight. Some of the changes that I really would like to put into place in the fish room is, like, number one, focus on some of the breeding and sharing some videos on the breeding and the particular different species that I have. I think that would be advantageous to everybody so that they could enjoy some good things like that, you know, updates. Also, I want to also make some changes in this room. I want to pull out the 90 gallon and the 40 gallon up here. What I'm talking about is this. So let me turn the camera around. So I want to get rid of everything on this rack, almost everything. So this tank will go out, and these tanks will all go out, and I'm going to replace them with rows of 20 gallons, and that will enable me to put discus pairs and grow out fish. Now the problem with this, for example, I got a 90 gallon and just the barbs are in it, and look at all the space it's taking up, and they don't need to be in a 90 gallon, honestly. They don't need to be. So that's where it's inefficient. So I want to correct that. So that's something that I think would be most helpful. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me on a Friday night. I know there's a lot of things you'd rather be doing, and I think that you took out precious time in your life to just spend watching the fish and looking through my fish room. So thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Of course, liking, subscribing helps. And I also learned something the other day, and there's several of you still on, and if you've given me a thumbs up, thank you. But I've also learned that if you share the video in some way, through social media or other some way, it makes the biggest difference. So when I post a video, if you would please be so kind as just to share it with somebody you think that might like it. That's the best way to get the word out and get more people focused on some of the fish that maybe I have. I would like to make one shout out, and it's to a new channel that I've started watching a few months ago that I really didn't even know existed. And he has, believe it or not, in his fish room, Discus, like I do. He has Plecos, some of the same ones I do. And he also has black rams, like I do. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So I've enjoyed listening to him. He's a very good speaker, and he can express himself extremely well. And I learned that the other day. He mentioned the fact that he used to flip houses, and so I'm like, okay, now I understand why he's so good at that. But now for the unveiling. His name is Sheller Aquatics. Scheller Aquatics. So that's his. I'm just making. He doesn't know me, and I do watch him. I subscribe to his channel, and I'm just mentioning him because I think it would be great if you would check him out, because some really good content. And especially if you're into discus, he especially specializes in discus, or shall we say his experiences with discus. He's had it for many years, and I enjoy learning from his channel, Scheller Aquatics. So maybe one day I'll have an opportunity to communicate with him too. So besides that, thank you all for coming. I don't know if I answered all the questions. Jeff, you stopped your water changes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for joining during the water changes. I did mine earlier, but you know, actually that was at the fish house. Now I got to do some here tonight. So yeah, I'm going to keep a little up, and I will not be doing it just on Saturdays. Here's Jeff asked the question: are you feeding the baby red lizards baby brine as well? Yes, they get baby brine constantly in that tank, and that is where the papa is hatching the eggs. And it turns out that the babies just go right on to baby brine, and that is what they go after from day one. You don't have to do anything else. I think it's a mistake for this kind of fish. It seems to be more of a high protein fish. I think it's a mistake to try to just use algae, wafers, and those kinds of foods. I don't think that they go for that. They're not like the ancestris. Also, be careful though. Too much protein, and I think they are susceptible to getting bloat. So that's another thing I've learned. Any other cloaked catfish? Yeah, Major. Thank you very much. I'm looking. I have the different whiptails in here for Stephen. He asked the question. I think these ones in the 30 gallon are all the same. When I was over at Jason's, we were talking about it, and Jason mentioned that we kind of talked about it and found out that the 3 I had were actually from the same group he had, and he had 2 of them left out of that group, and so that's why I grabbed them, because it's like I started with 6. I don't know, the 2 smallest ones died fairly quickly, and then one of them just disappeared. I don't know what happened or when it died. I don't even know if I ever saw it. I never saw it. After a while, I just realized I had 3, not 4 anymore. So then with the 3 plus 2, I think it's much better. I think it's a great opportunity. So I have the 5 now, and I'll just have enough to be able to do some breeding. So yeah, I'm going to feature the glow light, Stephen, Truth Seeker. And the grill on the bottom is that egg crate. No, the grill at the bottom I use is this. I'm trying to answer your questions before I go. Oh, what happened to it? I used to keep it right here. I don't keep it right there now, obviously. Because if I did, it would be there. Oh, there it is. It was down below. I use this. I buy this on Amazon, and this is nothing more than fiberglass netting, and it's made for barbecues. You put it on your barbecue, and it's supposed to get heated up and transfer the heat well, and you can cut it with scissors. It's not metallic, so I think it's ideal. You buy it this big, and you just cut it down. I buy 1 package, and there's 3 in there. So that's what I use, and I use it also for a variety of things, including little pieces I use inside my box filters to hold the froth down. Yeah, so it's very helpful. So, any other questions? Oh, thank you, Glitch Aquatics. If you're still online, thank you so much for commenting about my shirt. good to see everybody back again. I will do another live stream, but I'm not going to do it on a particular day. I'm just going to have to do it on the fly on some evening. So just be sure you got that little button clicked so that you can be notified when I do go live. But I'm also going to try to put out some videos. So go live a couple times a month, and when I can, and at the same time put out a couple videos a couple times a month. That's what I'm going to try to do. I think that would be a good balance for everybody. But thank you very much for joining. Again, if there's any last questions. Yes, the link for the barbecue mesh is not in this particular video. It's not in the comments below. Maybe it will be afterwards, when a few minutes when I put it in, because it's in most of my videos in the comments section, because I have a list of different ones in there. So I'll put the link. In fact, right after this, that I close this, I'll go and upload the description for this live stream tonight, and when I do so, it will be with the links in the description below, so that way you can see, you get a link to the mesh, and you can take a look at it on the computer screen and see how much it would run you and where you're located. So thank you so much, everyone. Wait a minute, what's this? That's good to know. I have a group of red lizards coming on Tuesday to grow out. Oh, very nice. And where are you located, Jeff? Are you located very close to Toronto? I ask that because it's good to know different people with red lizards. If they aren't genetically or too close in family, like brother, sister, it's maybe nice to get do a swap and, swap a couple females with each other so that it can, Wisconsin. You're always making it difficult, aren't you? Just kidding. Okay, well, maybe we can work out something one day. You never know. Thank you, everybody, and I appreciate it so much that you were able to take time out on your Friday night, and we will see you on the next round. I'm hoping to get a lot of work done, and I've got some surprise next week, and as soon as I can, my next live stream, I will hopefully show you some new fish coming. I've already ordered them, and they're probably not what you think, but you'll be pleasantly surprised. So I'm supposed to pick them up next week, and that will be great. So I'll keep that a secret till then, so you can just anticipate great things to come. Thank you very much, everybody, and I really appreciate you joining me tonight. And Red Laser, as you're so faithful, always connecting, thank you so much and taking time out. And we will talk again very soon. And I hope that you will always remember this sage advice: keep it real.